So, guys, today I wanted to talk about the position both the NBA and the MLB are in here in 2023. We all know the NFL is king and is just destroying both of them in ratings. But how bad is it really for the MLB and the NBA? What is their major issues, and can these be corrected? We just got a report saying Sunday's NBA All-Star Game was the lowest rated and least watched edition of the game. Ratings declined about 30% and viewership 27% from just last year. And by the way, last year's All-Star Game sucked too. So the NBA is just completely dealing with a big issue with the All-Star situation. It is a record low audience, and it is the steepest decline since 2000. So guys, when you look at the NBA and the MLB, they both have scoring issues, but they're both the opposite issues. In the NBA, the game is way too watered down. I have some remarkable stuff on just how ridiculous the scoring has gotten, and there's multiple factors because of it. Some of it is teams realizing, hey, a three-pointer is a lot more of an efficient shot than a mid-range two. Let's just get really good at three-pointers, and let's just start jacking them up, right? The Steph Curry, the Houston Rockets with James Harden, Chris Paul, PJ Tucker, and you see higher scoring games. The defense is worse. There's more incentive in being an offensive player because you get paid more if you're a good offensive player, as opposed to being a really good defensive player, you're not going to get paid as much. So there's a number of issues with it. But guys, when you watch the NBA, is it not hard to get excited? Even if your favorite player scores like 30 points, take a look at this. So right now, this is the current scoring in the NBA. Sacramento, of all teams, is averaging per game. This is 57 games played. 120 points. But I want you guys to look at last place, the Miami Heat. Last place in the NBA in scoring per game, 108 points. 108.3, right? Now let's go back just 10 years to the 2013 season and take a look at first place, the Clippers. 107. So last place in terms of scoring right now would be the highest scoring team just 10 years ago. I really think when I look at this list, the NBA in 2013, 2014, that was like the best time frame to where you would get some really good offense and some really good defense, and you'd get more defensive-minded teams like the Chicago Bulls with Tom Thibodeau, and you'd also get offensive-minded teams. We remember the 7-second offense with the Phoenix Suns and things like that. Now at this point, it is so meaningless. Take a look at the highest scorers right now. You've got, 5 players, 6, 7 players averaging 30 points. LeBron James at age 70 averaging 30 points. And listen, LeBron James has aged really well, don't get me wrong. But if LeBron James was this old in 2013, he is not averaging anywhere close to 30 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, really good young player, not hating on him. He's averaging 31 points. Come on. Joel Embiid, 33 points, a center. It is just so watered down. And then you take a look at the scoring just 10 years ago. Durant was at 32. But, that's a lot more, what we should expect with NBA scoring. One player averaging over 30 points, and it's just so bloated right now. It's almost like these records are becoming meaningless. You're seeing teams score 50 points in a single quarter. I remember when I was younger with the NBA, and the Cavs scored this was when LeBron, his first time with the Cavs. The Cavs scored 73 points in the first half, and I was mind blown that a team could score 70 plus points in one half. Now it's just so pathetic, and it just doesn't even matter. So the NBA needs to do something to limit the scoring, because at this point it's just so out of hand. You could have a 14-game NBA night, and every single team would have at least 110 points. And, I don't know if you want to officiate games differently, but that would probably make the game more ugly, which would turn it off for fans. And with kind of like the TikTok younger culture with social media, it's very hard. And then you've got Adam Silver, who's just a horrible commissioner, a complete lapdog. Some people like Silver. I'm sure the players like him because they just take complete advantage of him. Now, I will say, in fairness to Adam Silver, he's in a no-win situation when you look at that league. I think if he starts pushing back against the players, they would... we know how it is nowadays, and it's probably will not end well for Silver. But I mean, at some point, you got to draw a line in the sand. And if you've got a 27-year-old healthy player who's a star, you got to be playing, dude. I don't know why you're resting 5 weeks into the season. It's ridiculous, but that is tough. So right now, Adam Silver has zero control over the NBA. He actually defends the pathetic resting. And the scoring is just so out of control. It's just like eating ice cream every meal. Yeah, ice cream's really good, but if you eat it every meal, I'm telling you, eventually you will be sick of it, even though it tastes really good. It's like seeing a team score 140 points is fun. Seeing them do it 55 times, it just doesn't matter. And then taking a look at the MLB has an opposite problem. So the MLB, guys, it's a complete train wreck. It is so corrupt. You have pitchers cheating with the sticky tack and things like that, getting a higher spin rate, getting more spin on the baseball. You have hitters, I guess the hitters were cheating. The Houston Astros, the scandal they had with the Stein stealing. You've got Mookie Betts admitting the Red Sox cheated during their playoff run with technology, getting the signs in, knowing if it was an off-speed pitch or a fastball. You've got the MLB manipulating, juicing the baseballs in 2018 to artificially create offense. How about, doing it with Aaron Judge in 2022 to try and get him, the American League home run record. So the MLB is just totally corrupt. But you look at this, and guys, look at the far right column. OPS, look at the past 5 years, and just the rapid decline. The league average OPS is almost below 700. The batting average, look at the on-base percentage. It's at an all-time record low this past year at 312. That is league average. The MLB knows they need more offense, and it's what's the answer? I mean, at this point, they're trying to do whatever they can. They've installed, they're installing a freaking pitch clock. If you were to tell the MLB in 2010 that you guys would be installing a pitch clock, they would laugh at you. But now they have to do it. And you wonder, why is the MLB doing that? It's the social media culture. They have gotten crushed with the young people, and it has created kind of a situation where young people think the NBA is so much bigger than the MLB, which is really not the case at all. The World Series actually outrates the finals every single year. MLB does way better in terms of local market ratings than the NBA. The bottom line is, when it comes to the big three sports in America, the NFL is so far in ahead, but really, I couldn't even sit here and say the MLB's number 2 or the NBA's number 2. Yeah, if you're talking about social media, the MLB does a horrible job marketing it. And also, younger people are on social media. The NBA has way more younger fans than MLB. So the MLB is just going to get trampled on social media. That's why when you see all the NBA superstars have 5 times the followers that Mike Trout has, it's just because there's more NBA fans on social media because it's a younger audience. That's part of the reason why the MLB is sounding 50 alarm bells, completely changing their game and adding a clock when that was really one of the best unique things about baseball. You could go to a game, it would be peaceful, there's no time to it. Obviously, that opinion that I have is very, very a minority opinion. Most people, the casual people, they're tired. It's boring games. A lot of it's due to social media killing our attention spans, especially very young kids. They see a TikTok video every 5 seconds. They're getting more dopamine, and they just can't handle baseball taking 20 seconds to throw each pitch. I mean, there's just no way when you've got access to all this other stuff. So right now, guys, the MLB and the NBA, Who's better off? I mean, when you talk about young audience, it's definitely the NBA, but the NBA is just, the All-Star game is getting crushed. The league overall with the scoring, both of these leagues are in such a horrible spot. I guess we'll see, because at least Manfred is trying to innovate with the MLB and get younger people into it by installing this pitch clock and stuff like that. You have to wonder if they go back to juice baseballs. I know they banned the shift because they're just trying to do whatever they can to get more offense, but obviously the pitchers were freaking pissed when they heard about the juiced baseballs. I mean, but really, how angry can they be? They've been cheating the last 5 years themselves because the MLB is so ridiculous and everyone cheats. And they're using the spider tack to get better grips. And I think the MLB cut down on it, but then it's gotten bad again this past year. So this is a situation where I view Manfred as just a complete tone-deaf prick, and Adam Silver as a lapdog. That's the situation with the MLB and the NBA. And the MLB, I would say, due to their drastic changes, is in a worse spot because they're not attracting young people to the game. But I mean, I did see some interesting, like there was a like who had the more ratings, the NBA Finals or the MLB, and the MLB World Series always outrates the NBA Finals, and they get way better attendance because there's more games and things like that, and they have higher capacities and stuff. But even the MLB attendance is going down. Now that really doesn't surprise me. I mean, you look at the way different things are happening. Pretty much everyone's attendance is going down outside of the NFL. And part of that is the NFL having only 8 or 9 home games, so it's very exclusive. And like every NFL game is an event, as opposed to NBA and MLB. You get like so many chances to go to NBA games because there's 82, including 41 home games, and with the MLB it's even more. And then there's the idea, well, with the NBA, would you want to cut the overall schedule to 74 games? Well, that's taking money out of everyone's pockets. So the players, where you would think if you're an NBA player and Adam Silver comes up to you and says, okay, guys, if you want to rest every other night, obviously you're telling me that there's too many games, so we can cut the games. But no, now suddenly the players don't want it. So they want the 82 games because they want more money, but they still want to rest. Right, that's how it is. And then the MLB, I mean, I personally don't think they should cut it down, because then it's like, what are you even going to cut it to? 154? I know that's kind of been the recent thing. Maybe they cut it down to 154, but then there's like no chance to get any home run records if you're going to cut down, the season. And, all the counting stats are going to be less if you're only playing 154 games. It's going to be harder to get things, which I think would really hurt the sport. So I think for the NBA, it's all about finding a balance in terms of the overall scoring, because right now it's gotten so ridiculous. It's a real turnoff for casual people, and the All-Star game is just kind of an exemplified point of that. And then for the MLB, I mean, they're trying the new pitch clock. We'll see. But the MLB is just crushed by social media. I'm telling you guys, these kids are growing up. And even with the pitch clock, they can't watch a baseball game. They can't watch an inning. They can't watch an at-bat because there's another TikTok video that's playing. They can get more dopamine. They can refresh their Twitter timeline. And that's why the MLB is just getting annihilated with young people. They just do not have the attention spans because of everything, their environment. We're all products of our environment. If a young kid's going to be on his iPhone at the age of 7, that's probably going to F up his attention span. And I'm guessing that young kid's probably not going to like baseball because it is a slow game. But we'll have to see how it works out. I just wanted to talk about the current state of the NBA and the MLB in 2023.